I recently did a joy challenge. I struggled, y'all. And I'm like, I'm going to commit to do something joyful, joyous for myself moving forward every day. And I'm starting to realize like being a grown up, being an adult, being responsible, somewhere in the mix of that, the earth has definitely programmed me to believe that my happiness is an afterthought behind my duty and obligations and responsibilities. But I'm starting to understand that I have had it all backwards. Like, we deserve time to ourselves. We deserve to nourish our bodies. We deserve to nourish our minds and our nervous system, y'all. Like, I'm just now like getting into like calming my nervous system and grounding myself and feeling it run through me, feeling the energy, the inner waters of my body, feeling them flow and not be stagnant. And for the longest time, I didn't realize that I was not breathing because I was so anxious, so panicked, so fearful that I would literally, like, I would breathe, but it would not be true breathing. It would not be breathe. The power of breathing, y'all. I'm going to be releasing. I don't know when I'll release it because there's so much messages and transmissions that are coming in, y'all. But like, there is one that I've learned. It's like balancing your divine and masculine. You go, crazy, right? Something so simple, but it will make you feel so good if you do it 2 to 3 minutes a day at night. Also, there's something called spiral breathing where you breathe in through your spine and then you exhale and you imagine spirals come out. There's reversal breathing. There's all kinds of ways to breathe. Everyone deserves to be happy. And in that happiness, they deserve to have time to themselves. And this upside down world that we've been in has been teaching us the wrong way. And for me, happiness is having time for myself. All praise to the Most High God. Love to the mother. For we live in a world where we're told that happiness is expensive, complicated, too hard to achieve, too far away, that you have to be responsible first, you got to work hard first, and then at some slimmer glimmer time of the day, you're supposed to find out, and like as a afterthought of everything that you've gone through, sit down and say, okay, what do I want to do? No. What I want you to do today is I want you to rethink about the importance of happiness and time to yourself. Rather than waiting to the end of the day to try to find space or time for you to process, like y'all mothers, I know, and fathers probably too, that bathroom time. Look here, when I go in there, I'm locking the door. I don't care what y'all talking about. But rather than waiting to the very last part of the day to get your you time, I want you to think, if you can, out for at least a week, and think about, or even like just the next 2 3 days, every time you come, you're thinking through your day, what am I going to do this day? What am I going to do? What is the joyful thing where I have time to myself? What am I going to do? And commit to doing it. Write it in your calendar, in your phone. I am going to do this for myself. I am going to go on a walk at twilight for myself. I am going to do a facial mask. I am going to get a pedicure. I am going to sing. I am going to go sit out in the sun. I'm going to go play golf. I'm going to go swimming. I'm going to go to the gym. Whatever that joyful act is for you, make at least 10 minutes for yourself to do it, even if it's meditation, but be intentional about prioritizing it as part of your routine, y'all. Routine is everything. The reason why they make us feel like joy and happiness and free time is unattainable is because if you look at how society has been set up, it's very structured and rigid so that most of your day is like getting sucked into a time warp. Like where by the end of the day, from when the morning you wake up, you're getting your kids ready if you have them, and or you're getting yourself ready if you don't have any kids. You go to work, You spend all your day there. You're not really, you have lunch, but not really. I mean, I personally don't like doing like personal stuff on my lunches, but you know, it's just me. But then when you get off, then you have to take care of your kids. You got to get them ready for bed. You got to do everything else. You got to do all, if you're a woman, you cooking, you cleaning, you handle all the business. And somewhere in there, you're supposed to figure out your things. And then you're supposed to figure out when you're supposed to have time for yourself. But that's not the right way. And I'm working it on myself. Everything I tell y'all is this work in progress because I have not got it down. I've gotten like, when I wake up, I don't look at my phone. When I wake up, I do a meditation. I do my affirmations that I've set out, but I've been intentional about that. I'm like, I have a folder saved in my photos that says morning affirmations. I have now photos at night that says nightly protection prayers, so that way I know what daily things I'm supposed to do, that I'm like keeping a cadence with any grid work, any kind of affirmations, whatever part of me I'm working on. Like right now, I'm doing a 21-day unburdened practice, y'all, because I have a loop of taking on the burdens of other people and their pain and holding their wounds. And it's a big problem that I've had. So I'm doing the 21 days. So I make sure every day I wake up, I do that. I make sure that like today is Monday, and I am over the node of Mount Kailash. So I'm gonna make sure that I do that today, right? Monday. I have a calendar. I put it on there. Be intentional. And like you're like, okay, well, it takes time to be intentional. But when you're intentional, then you make time. When you're intentional and you say, this is what I'm going to do, it will happen. It's when you're not intentional that you'll just get swept up in the day doing other things that probably are just draining on your energy, then versus taking the time to write out your calendar, looking and saying, this is what I'm going to do. These are the practices that I want to do. This morning, I want to focus on yoga and do my meditation, and then I want to go to work. Like you have to be intentional about your joy. You have to be intentional about your happiness. You have to be intentional about feeding your flame tech. Okay. Do you know what flame tech is? It is your avatar. It is your body. God designed us to be unique expressions of the Most High. And these bodies that we've been given as humans, that's why we have all this galactic activity happening, y'all. That's why they're all here. Like we have flame tech. This is flame tech. And your body is a grid in itself. It is a microgrid that is connected to the macro grid, which is Earth. The more that you heal yourself by taking time to yourself, to be in communion with yourself, to think, to clear the static out your mind, to ask yourself questions, to process what's happening in your life, to work through your fears, and then to be in communion with the Most High God and your spirit team, the more that you will be settled and have a solid foundation, and the more ready that you will be to be able to take care of your family and your community, or to be effective at your job or your business. And the more grounded, the more positive and aligned and in tune you are with yourself and with God, then your community and your family will be impacted and their frequency will go up, and then the planet will go up in frequency, because that's the way that God has designed it. When the micro becomes more in tune with source, the earth, Gaia Sophia, becomes in tune as well. And when the earth and when we ascend, then that then goes up to the cosmos and allows us to connect as a sovereign being within ourselves and within the overall planetary structure of Gaia, which is a living being, y'all. So it is very important to make time for yourself because it's the foundation of everything. All right. I hope this resonates. I love y'all. Peace out.